Let's throw some jabs.
The fight starts now!
No, fight fans, you didn't pick the wrong towel. Yes, this is jabs. That's right. But myself and Barack, we are filling in for Chris Mannix. They needed to give Maura a break from Chris's antics, so we're about to talk some boxing right now. It's fact or fiction. We're going to set it right off. Listen.
No, but before we go, man, it shouldn't be called jabs. It should be called power punch because we hit a little bit harder than that.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
A lot more pound for pound respect, fellas. So, yeah.
Oh, appreciate you, brother.
No doubt,
Thank
man.
you.
Listen, it's a pleasure to actually be on your show, Jabs, today. And listen, we obviously huge heavyweight fight, Sergio. We're going to jump right into it. Look, all people are talking about now. I mean, I think with AJ's, I guess, comment on Instagram after the fact, people are respecting what he said. And now people are talking about Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury. All right. Is it a fact that Usyk defeats Tyson Fury, or is that fiction?
I got to go with fiction. As incredible of a boxer that Oleksandr Usyk is, there's limitations. There's size and then there's ability. You know, Usyk has that ability at cruiserweight. He cleaned out the division. At heavyweight, he was able to do it against Joshua. Just Joshua. We don't know how he's going to do it against a bigger man and a bigger puncher. And Fury's going to be the bigger man who knows how to fight dirty. He knows how to clinch. He knows how to use his size. He knows how to use the jab. He knows how to box backwards. He has defense and upper body movement. These are all things that Joshua doesn't have. Mind you, AJ did look better, a lot better in this rematch. I think Robert Garcia did an amazing job with the little and limited time he had. But I'm telling you right now, Tyson Fury I think he beats him easily. He beats Usyk handily. He might even end up stopping him because in that 9th round, Usyk was somewhat hurt and in trouble with the body shots. So can you imagine what Fury would do on the inside, hanging in, digging down to the body? Yeah, man, I got to go Tyson Fury, maybe even by stoppage.
Yeah, I was about to agree, and agree means that I just made a prediction. No, that means that I just made a prediction. So Sergio, you got me on that one. Listen, I think that's a great assessment, and I think Tyson Fury has dealt with every single style. I always bring up Derek Chisora because Derek Chisora gave Usyk a tough fight. You know, like I said, some people thought he probably won that fight. And he landed a lot of shots on Usyk. He landed 139 punches on Usyk. Now, mind you, when Tyson Fury fought him, he fought a fresher Chisora. He fought him in 2011, 2014. A fresher Chisora that had less losses, had more legs, had more energy, and he was able to keep him away. He averaged 70 punches. So you're talking about a guy who can either box you and for 12 rounds, because Tyson Fury is a 12-round fighter, and this new Tyson Fury can also walk you down. I think Usyk is going to be in for a surprise if he fights Tyson Fury. He just has everything right now. He has the full package, and it'll be a battle of the footwork. If Tyson decided to box him, he's going to be boxing him and keeping him away with a 3-inch longer reach than Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, with all that being said, let's go down memory lane real quick, Sergio, and you can respond to this first. When is the last time you've seen Tyson Fury in an uncomfortable fight? I'm not talking about the wildest fights because obviously he was hurt, but he still was in control tactically in all of those fights for the most part. The guy that comes to mind is Otto Wallin. Who is he? A southpaw. A guy that's actually roughly around the same size as Usyk, maybe a little bit bigger. But Otto Wallin is a slick southpaw. And I hate to say this because I love Otto Wallin, but maybe Usyk is a better version of Otto Wallin that Fury was going to have to get in front of. A guy that is a unified champion now and has a lot to lose, and we all know he's fighting for an entire country. I don't think the fight is going to be easy as people think for Fury. Yes, you have to give the edge to Fury because of size, but Oleksandr Usyk, I think, will even turn it up a few notches to try to beat a guy like Fury. So remember that.
Oh man,
Wallin was a lot bigger and taller. I mean, Fury's going to have 40, 50 pounds in height. I mean, in weight, he's going to have 6 inches in height. And then the jab and then the movement, like you were talking about, the boxing. I don't see it, and you can bet that Usyk is no Wallin, and you're talking about two different stages of pound for pound talent, and the size is going to be the difference here. And then when it finally happens, or if it does happen, you'll finally say, "Nah, Usyk bit off more than he can chew," and that's why weight divisions exist for a reason.
Barack, I mean, real quick, I think that we all saw Usyk beat Joshua, right? But it's fair to say that Joshua was a better version of himself in that fight. He was more assertive. He was actually more confident. He was in the pocket at times and landing big body shots and a stiff jab earlier. So people are saying how great of a boxer Usyk is, but AJ was beating him. He won rounds in that fight. You're still able to connect against a guy that's supposedly a master boxer, Usyk. He still was able to land a lot of shots against Usyk, body and top. So is he a great, masterful, bigger version of Lomachenko? I'm not sure about that.
Yes, I do think so. I do think he is. I think his angles show that. I don't think it was 7-5. I think it was more like 8-4. And that's pretty much not a one-sided fight. But Joshua did win round. It's not a one-sided fight. No, I take that back. But what I'm saying is he won the fight very, very convincingly. And yes, he definitely has the footwork and the angles that usually heavyweights don't have. And you got to understand something. What do we always say about Fury? We always say, man, his angles, man, his boxing ability, his defense, all of that is an anomaly of somebody that tall and in the heavyweight division. So I just don't think it's that easy to beat somebody that has all of that. And now he's coming in at 270-something pounds. Now, people probably don't remember, but his first fight back after 2.5 years after beating Vladimir Klitschko, he came back against Safari at 276 pounds. So now he's actually using that 270-something pounds, to his advantage. And he has this knockout power from sitting down at his punches, working with Sugar Hill. How do you beat that? Especially being 6'3".
Let's switch gears real quick and give you another fact or fiction, Sergio. If the fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder finally gets made, is it fiction or fact that Wilder knocks AJ out?
I gotta say fact. I think Wilder has that big right hand, but he knows how to use it. I think he learned a lot from Tyson Fury, how to use that jab to set up that power. I think that second time around, he got confidence knowing that he can actually, be defensive himself a little bit and avoid the big shots. He knows what it is to get chin checked now and survive. Wilder has a lot of guts. He has a lot of heart. Even though he did get stopped pretty bad, I mean, it was a fight of the year type fight. You have to learn off that. And the fact that he's, been stopped, Joshua's been stopped. Both of them have been in physical fights on the top level. But if that's a fight that needs to happen, that's probably the biggest fight in boxing with two guys coming off losses. Incredible, but I would watch it.
But it's safe to say that Anthony Joshua also has the ability to knock a Deontay Wilder out, which we know has been hurt and down as well.
Yeah, but you asked me who I think would favor, and I would favor Wilder by stoppage. I would favor Wilder by stoppage in that fight. It just styles make fights, and I think Joshua would do well. I think both of them will be hurt, maybe both drop, but the power, the one punch power is on Wilder's side. I think he lands it before Joshua.
I mean, Barack, do you concur? Do you agree? You've been agreeing with Sergio.
Nah, see, I don't do this prediction stuff. I do think that one thing Sergio said is that Wilder has a great chin. I think they both have great chins. If you think about it, Wilder...
No. See, wait a minute. We're not doing predictions here. We're just saying we got to pick a side. That's one thing that Chris said.
That's not a prediction.
Yeah, that sounds real crazy. A prediction is not picking a side. Obviously, who do I favor? I think that's more like a 50-50 fight. I think probably you always favor Deontay Wilder, even when he fights Tyson Fury, because of that one punch power. It seems like, because even when he came back after the second fight, people were still favoring Deontay Wilder. Like, you know what? He's coming in bigger. He's still got that knockout punch power. So it's hard to go against guys like that. I think it's more of a 50-50 fight. I think they both have amazing chins. Neither one of them was really stopped. I mean, Joshua wasn't stopped. He was still standing up. And even Deontay Wilder, who was hurt very, very badly against Fury, he was getting up.
Yeah.
You know, that's how these guys are. They're nuts. They're both nuts, and they're both warriors.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think Joshua gets a bad rep on having a bad chin, but every time he's been down, he's gotten up. Yes, he was hurt against the Ruiz fight and really didn't get his composure back, but he got up against Klitschko, knocked Klitschko out. He took big shots against Usyk. He didn't go down in 24 rounds.
I watched that again. It was kind of like an early stoppage.
They didn't have to. That's another conversation.
They didn't have to stop that Klitschko fight
for another show. But listen,
Klitschko didn't complain, so it's all good.
We tried to get a prediction out of Brock, but we couldn't. But that's jazz for you today. Thanks, Sergio, for chopping it up with us.
Thank you for tuning in to Power Shots.